Speaking of campaigning, $1 million summer program to feed more than 100,000 hungry Idaho kids has been scrapped from the budget of the Department of Health and Welfare. It was quite the ride for the appropriations bill known as Senate Bill 1445. It came out of JFAC and the Senate Finance Committee with a do-pass recommendation. But alas, today, senators did not heed that suggestion. The line item most of them had a problem with, the summer EBT benefit program. It would have set aside nearly $1.1 million to continue a federal program which was established during COVID back in December of 2022. Families would get a $40 a month debit card per child, up to $120, to use during the summer to buy food. Different from when it started, when the federal government covered the entire cost. Well, states, which would be Idaho, would then be required to pay for half of the program, thus the $1.1 million. That addition to the health and welfare budget. But several senators weren't having it, saying, we already have a federal program that covers this, which, by the way, Idaho isn't part of this summer because we failed to enroll in the federal summer lunch program, losing out on the $15 million to fund it. They also said it's going to be more expensive than the fiscal note indicates, and, oh yeah, this is welfare.
You can think of this as universal food service. I think generally we'd be opposed to universal basic income, universal housing, universal food service. That's what we've got in this budget.
And now we're just seeking to give permanent food stamp EBT cards to kids, even if their parents make six figures.
The problem that I see is this program is easy to abuse. If we're giving kids a debit card, anyone can utilize that card. And again, it was pointed out that they can take this anywhere they want to that takes food stamps like the gas station and be able to utilize it.
The bill failed 10-25, but it was a bigger failure for one woman who has been working on getting this funded since last summer when it became known Idaho forgot to sign up for the federal program. Dawn Pierce is with Hunger Free America, and she was down at the State House today to follow the fruits of her labor, only to see it spoil because of what she heard on the Senate floor.
What I heard was a lot of misinformation from the members of the Senate regarding summer EBT, what it is and what it is not. And I believe it was sent back to JFAC based on misinformation.
Give me a couple of those items.
Some of the misinformation was that kids were going to be using this at liquor stores to buy Monster drinks. That's not true. That children were going to be given these cards over the summer to use to buy their own food. That's not true. That it was just going to be a universal free meals program for all, no matter how much your parents make, and that's not true.
That parents who make six figures, their kids can get on this as well?
No, they cannot. Nope. They have to qualify according to the income. It has nothing to do with community eligibility of the district or the school.
You're obviously very emotional and connected to this.
I am.
Understandably.
I am. I have a personal story of hunger and poverty, and consider myself a hunger and poverty survivor. And I went to bed and cried because I didn't know how I was supposed to feed my son. I was so grateful that my son got free breakfast and lunch at school, because those are the meals that I didn't have to plan for, and I didn't have to use those food dollars for, because he was getting that food at school, so I could buy a little extra for dinner. I took every single parent who goes to bed crying, I took them with me when I fought for this. And I'm so sorry for them that they're going to continue to go to bed and cry instead of our legislature doing the right thing and just feeding 107,000 children. 107,000 children is not a massive welfare program.
Now what?
Oh my gosh, I'm not stopping. I still have all of those parents in my heart. I still have all of them in my head. I'm doubling down. I'm taking all of my frustration and my anger and my disappointment, and I am just doubling down, and I am not going to stop until we get summer EBT in Idaho for these kids.
Senate Bill 1445 went back to JFAC after it failed on the Senate floor this afternoon, and after a newer version with the EBT program still intact, it failed by 3 votes. It was passed out of the Budget Committee, though, without the summer lunch program funding included.